So, a tricky thing about mixing that I think sometimes people overlook, mixing engineers and listeners as well, is that there's a difference between the macro and the micro. And so, by that, I mean you can have something that sounds good, it is well put together, it's got nice frequency balance, everything is there, and everything is audible, but there's nothing particularly special about it. So you make a recording, you think you do a really good job, you send it to the band, and they don't love it, even though it sounds good. And that's kind of a macro versus micro thing. And the reality is that not everybody hears music the same. And I would say a great majority of people actually focus more in on the aesthetic within, which is what I'm calling the micro of the thing. So ideally you want a nice balance of both. You want to nail the aesthetic and have a nice sound stage and all of your frequency balances covered and have everything translate. But sometimes someone could make a mix of the entire wrong genre. It sounds great, but to the person who made it, it doesn't even sound like they're the right band. And so this is a thing that I think gets overlooked. Macro is definitely more of a mastering thing. You can do a bit of implying the genre, in mastering, or you can definitely reach to kind of emphasize the things about it. But at the end of the day, people actually care a lot more about the stuff within, which is why there have been countless songs that are super famous and popular. Fundamentally don't even necessarily sound that good, but they connect with the listener because they have the kind of genre or style that the listener is looking for. So if you're having a situation where either you're delivering a mix to a client or you're getting a mix from a mixer and you guys aren't seeing eye to eye because you're saying, well, we don't like this and this doesn't sound good, and they're like, it sounds good over here, you might be listening for one versus the other. So sometimes things sounding good isn't really the point. Sometimes things just sounding the way they're supposed to sound is more important than them just being fundamentally sound. So I think that's definitely something that people kind of conflate the two things and miscommunicate that about that a lot. And I definitely find that the aesthetic within or the micro is what matters more to artists. And then I think, audio professionals probably care a bit more about the macro. Generally good to try and nail both things or meet in the middle. And that's where I think mastering becomes important, because if you've nailed all of the things within and all of the style, that may be the best you're going to do, is focusing on that. You may not have the tools or the abilities to self master the thing and get it to the point where the macro is also good, but mastering is mostly a macro endeavor. So I get that a lot where people send me something and they're like, oh, I'm worried about this and this and this little specific thing. And I'm like, it sounds like the kind of record you're trying to make. I'll take care of the rest.